Namaste. This is Danielle with Elevation Studio, and today is a 1 hour fusion practice, a blend of yoga and Pilates. One of my favorite classes. I've been teaching it for years, and it's always a fun grab bag of these different modalities that really come together to bring you vitality, grounding, flexibility, and hopefully just joy, some real strength and vitality for the rest of your day and week. We've been going through challenging times, and I know it's sometimes hard to get motivated, but just to remember that in any way you move your body can bring this joy, that can really bring this sense of connection back into our own lives, into our own selves, and to really celebrate that we have these healthy bodies to move around in. We can forget this so easily and take it for granted. So I hope that this supports so much for you. Today I have the Pilates ring with me. You don't have to use it. If you don't have one at home, you can also squeeze a yoga block or improvise in some other way. I also have a kneeling blanket for some comfort under your knees when we're kneeling, and also a set of yoga blocks. So if you have those things, you might want to pause and go get them. And I hope you enjoy. Stay connected to the breath always. Today we're going to start with a little warm up. Just find your seat, ground by rocking the sitting bones side to side, front to back, find the pelvic bowl, and then draw the low back in. Take your hand and draw the low back in. You should feel the curve of the low back. There's an instant lift to the chest. We want to feel that buoyancy in the spine, grounded yet rising. Roll the shoulders. Take some shoulder rolls so that we lubricate the shoulder joints. Just finding that opening, that mobility. And we'll lift our right arm up over our head, wrap it around the top of the head, find your left ear, and then just gently take the head toward the right and open up through a stretch in the side of the neck. A lot of times looking at our phones, technology, we get really compressed in the neck area. This is such an essential part of the flow to our nervous system. So we do want to find length through these scaling muscles, and then release. Everything done with a gentle intention. Lift your left arm, wrap it around your head, find your ear or near, and just find a gentle stretch. And when we move side to side in the body, things are usually different. We use our bodies differently in habit and our patterns side to side. So this is typical. We can feel that when we start to move into these bilateral explorations. So just allow for it to be different. You're not trying to match. And then release. Take the head toward the right and just circle the chin down toward the chest. Lengthen through the back of the neck. Find that decompressive quality to the back of the neck. And just gently stretch. And then bring it on over to the left. And then back to center. Draw the head up. Keep that buoyancy in the heart. Bring your hands to Anjali Mudra at the heart. And just sit in your place, in your seat, grounded and rising, open-hearted, a willingness to even be here. And close the eyes. Take deep breaths in through the nose. Let your breath fill in all the directions, in the sides of the body, the back of the body. Use the back of your lungs. And then exhale fully. All the toxins come out through that exhale. So don't hold on to anything. And these deep breaths will be our foundation today, whether we're moving a little faster and the heart rate is moving a little faster as well. We're going to focus on keeping this deep breath, this quality of the inhale coming in deeply and the exhale releasing. Two more rounds to connect to the flow of the breath itself. Create your personal sankalpa or your intention And this is something we also work with daily. It can be an affirmation, it can be your personal prayer during this time, or something new that you'd like to keep in the open-heartedness or the compassion of your heart to work with throughout your day. Something that supports you, that guides you. And just gently open the eyes, take this Sankalpa, these breaths with you today. We're going to move to hands and knees. And here's maybe where you want to use your blanket. Feel free to pad your knees up, hands and knees. Cat-cow will warm up the spine. Bring your hands directly underneath your shoulders, and I want you to claw the mat. I always mention these as tiger paws or tiger claws. I want you to really activate the fingers here through the fingertips and knuckles. Curl the toes under, activate the toes, press down, and inhale, lower the belly, and again, keep the decompression in the back of the neck. And then exhale, chin toward the chest, lift the upper back and breathe into the upper back, the thoracic spine. And we'll keep going in the rhythm of our breath. Inhaling. You don't have to gaze up. You can gaze down ahead of the earth if that feels better in the neck. And exhaling. Really release that breath out. 2 more times. Inhaling. Heads of the arms are back. Heart stays open. Exhaling. So we're fluid and we're strengthened at the same time. Inhaling and exhaling. You can breathe out through the mouth at any time. Just remember, we're not holding on to anything. Come back to center. We're going to move the hips around, start to stretch through the hips, circle the hips in one direction then the other. Come forward, start to strengthen through the arms and shoulders. Keep the heads of the arms really in their homes. Stop in any areas that need extra lingering or stretching. Remember, you can come to a rest, a sacred pause through child's pose or puppy's pose at any time. I'm just going to set my blanket to the side and come to downward facing dog. Lift the hips high. Draw the low back in, the same low back you found when you were seated. So the hips are up high, my thigh bones are up into my hip sockets, right? So I'm not rounded, which is very typical coming out of the couch or from compression in the low back. So I want you to bend your knees a lot for this. You still have your tiger paws or tiger claws pressing into the floor. And the hips even are a little bit higher. Heart is open and we extend the spine. Here. We're going to take a little bit of Shakti waves forward. Inhale into our plank. Bend the knees, bend the elbows, lower the chest. You feel your vitality here as the hips go back and up and high and start to become fluid in these circles, right? While turning it on. Remember, the navel to spine really supports it all. We want the spine to feel supported, yet we want to feel the breath moving easily through the body. And then reverse. Bend the knees, bring it forward. It feels like a push-up right there. And then back up into that cat feeling through the thoracic spine as you press your way back up. Right? So now we're turning on the heat, the Agni, and these Shakti waves. That's it. Pause. Take a couple breaths. Extend the legs. The heels don't have to touch if we're super tight in the hamstrings and calves, and certainly we don't want to lock the knees. So keep the knees slightly soft. Lift the right leg up. Inhale. Flex the right foot, and then start to pulse the right heel, and you'll feel your glute hamstrings turn on. Pause the pulse. Inhale and exhale, knee to nose. Inhale back. And exhale, knee to nose. Really carry it forward. Go farther than you want to be. Inhale, back. Exhale, forward. Inhale, back. And exhale, forward. Inhale, back. And then lift one more time. If your toes are not pointing down, you're probably in external rotation, which is totally out of habit. So lift from the inner thighs, toes point down here. Really activate the inner thigh of that right leg. And then float it down. Inhale forward into our plank. High, I'm going to show you knees down. So high plank or knees down to modify. Exhale, chest and chin, Ashtangasana. Lift the heads of the arms up. And then come on through onto the belly. Uncurl the toes, press down through the feet. Reach the fingertips like tents off the sides of the mat. Look down. Hold an avocado between the chin and the chest. Press through the feet. Strong legs. Lift the chest. Lift the back of the neck. Press down 5 to 10 pounds of pressure into the floor to really feel the chest muscles, the arms working. Feel that the cobra hood extends up over the head. That thoracic space, the back of the heart we're breathing into. And exhale. We've turned on all the posterior chain muscles with that one. And then again, inhale. Maybe turn the head side to side because we're celebrating all that length. And then exhale as we strengthen the back body. You've got to use your legs. You don't have to over squeeze the glutes, but press down through the feet. Use those inner thighs. Again, press up. And then exhale. Slide the hands back under the shoulders, curl the toes. Inhale. You can press up through plank or come back through hands and knees and transition to downward facing dog. The left leg lifts, lift from the inner thigh, flex the left foot, and pulse. Find the glute. Find the glute. Draw the low back in. Heads of the arms home. Strength and length. Pause the pulse. Knee to nose. Exhale, bring it forward. Lift the left thigh higher. Inhale, left leg back. And exhale, knee to nose. Bring it up. This can be done with the right knee down on the floor. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bring it forward and up. Press, press, press. We're making space. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale back. And exhale forward. Inhale back. Lift from the inner thigh. We're keeping it neutral here in the pelvis. And exhale, left foot down. Inhale forward into plank. High or knees down. Exhale, lowers to the earth. Uncurl the toes. Bring the arms down alongside. Press through the fingertips. Lift the heads of the arms. Lift the legs this time. If the full version doesn't work for you at this point, just press the feet back down where you were. Take the half version and exhale, float it down. Back to earth. Breathe. We're going to turn it all on again. Press through those fingertips. Lift the legs, lift the heads of the arms. Maybe even lifting the arms themselves. If this feels more active for you, pressing through fingers, keep that version. Exhale. And one more time. Lifting up, strengthening the back. Full half versions. Inner thighs lifted. We're staying in neutral through the pelvis and exhale. And bring it back down. Hands under shoulders. We curl the toes. I'm going to go find my yoga blocks and bring them to the front of the mat. Just to have them there. Downward facing tiger dog. Lift the right leg up. Inhale. Exhale, knee to nose one time. Lift it up. Step it through. Left knee down. You can pad the left knee here. Hug the front foot, back knee toward each other as you rock. So that hugging in activates the inner thigh. Now I feel much more stable to rise. Bring the arms up. Fingertips together around an imaginary grapefruit, Haikini Mudra. Shoulders down away from the ears. Lift the chest, curl back. Come back to neutral spine. Hands to Heart Anjali. Inhale. Exhale, twist to the right. Keep the hips squared and facing forward as the left arm comes to that outside of the right thigh. But lift the heart. So we're not using this leg to lay on. We're lifting and detoxing. Come on, back to center. Inhale. And exhale, hands to the earth. Lift the back leg, step the left foot forward. Unlock those knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Use blocks for height. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up. And hands to heart, exhale. Remember that intention. Remember the breath. Inhale, the arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Step the right leg back. Right knee down. Hug the front foot, back knee toward each other. Engage those inner thighs. Once you feel stable with that activation, rise. Fingertips together, high knee. Lift the arms. This might be great where you are, or continue to curl back. Heads of the arms home, heart open. We're not losing any front body support. Navel is drawn towards spine. I'm gazing where it feels good to the back of my neck, and exhale to neutral, hands to heart. Inhale, tall spine. Keep the length of the spine as you twist to your left. The right arm to the outer left thigh, but also to use that leg to lever the heart open. Draw the head of the left shoulder back, thumbs into sternum. And we detox. So you're feeling a nice deep rinse here. Make sure you exhale it all out. And we'll come back to center, inhale. And exhale, hands to earth. Left foot steps back. And exhale, left foot to the earth. Inhale, forward into plank. Higher knees down. Exhale, uncurl the toes. We reach the arms out in front of us without pulling the shoulders up by the ears. Lift arms and legs, Pilates swimming. So in swimming, again, they can be little kicks. Everything's working. They can also be half version. You can rest your head and just kick the legs. You can keep the legs down and continue to just kick the arms. So we're working that posterior chain again. I'm holding an avocado between the chin and the chest, looking down. Feels great to my neck. I'm not straining and looking up. Everything precise for the support of the spine. Feel the back strength, all the muscles working together. Lift and press down. Release, and you can rock your hips, rock it out, and release all that work. You'll feel so good. Taking one more set of swimming, we lift and kick. Remember, you're breathing through all this. You're not holding your breath. Maybe doing it with a smile. Little kicks. Each kick is felt, right? Each kick is an activation. So it's not just floppy arms or flailing legs. Precise. Lift the chest and press down. And release. Hands under shoulders. Take it back to a child's pose or a puppy's pose. If your knees aren't feeling great, leave the hips up high. Arms out in front of you. Chest opens. Great variation for knees. Or again, child's pose, knees together, knees wide, arms in front, arms alongside. And breathe. Remember your intention. We reconnect to the earth here. And we'll bring the hands back out in front. Always setting those tiger paws up. Really active hands. Lift the hips, draw the low back in, extend the spine. Right leg lifts, inhale, and exhale, right foot forward. This time, back leg up, modifies by bringing the back knee down anytime. Right knee over the right ankle, facing second and third toe. Hug those feet together. Activate the inner thighs as you rise. Reach the arms up. This time, cross the opposite fingers, opposite hand to opposite shoulders, tops of the shoulders. Make a little letter X. A little nest for your head. Lift into the nest as you extend the spine and curl back. Hug those feet toward each other. Let it tremble, let it shake. That's our dance. That's our dance. And come back to neutral. Inhale. Mushti Mudra. Little fists here right into the core, Manipura. And step it forward onto the right foot. We're going to keep that base leg, that right knee, soft as we step into our power and lift the left leg up. Re-extend the arms behind you, warrior three. Little warrior three squats here to build leg strength. And are you dancing? I am. I'm sweating, I'm dancing. That's change. Breathe. Breathe. Lift from the inner left thigh, like we did in downward dog. Forward fold, lift the left leg high. And little goddess squats here. Left knee bends behind the right knee, we bring it in. And then re-extend. Inhale, exhale, bring it in. Take a squat, push into that standing foot, and re-extend from inner thigh. And again, bring it in, exhale. Inhale, open up like a flame that's rising, and then exhale, bring it back to core. Inhale, up, stay here, left foot floats down. Woo, inhale, halfway lift. You can use blocks. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise to stand. Stand in your power, exhale. Arms down to the side. Stand with the four corners of your feet. You're grounded, you're rooted, and you're rising. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, flat back, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to take this in reverse. Right leg lift. Find your standing foot, four corners. Lift from the inner right thigh. You can use blocks here as well. Crown of the head toward the floor. Let the length be in the back of the leg. Rise that right leg like a flame. Inhale and exhale, right knee to left. Knee like a magnet. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, pulse it up, the pulse of life. Exhale. Building strength. Inhale and exhale, contract in. Inhale, rise. Exhale, contract. Inhale, rise. Exhale, contract. Inhale, lift. Pause. Step back, high lunge. Left knee over the left ankle, second and third toe lined up with that knee. So you want to find those alignments first. Hug it in and lift up. Lift the arms, cross at the back, so our fingertips to opposite shoulders. Create that nest, lift the spine, and curl back. So we want to feel length. We want to remember the back body. Breathe into the back of the heartstrings. We're still trembling. We're still building all of that good leg strength. Ground it. Come back to center. Reach the arms, Mushti Mudra, right into the core. Remember your core as you step forward. It might take a moment. You can tap the right foot and lift the right leg from the inner thighs. Warrior three. Reach the arms out in front of you. Woo! Behind you. Little squats just to challenge yourself more. And step it back. Ooh, we asked a lot of that leg. You're challenged. Inhale and exhale. Bring it down. Left leg up high. Exhale, left foot to the earth. Inhale, forward into plank. Exhale, lowers down. Reach the arms behind you. Interlace the fingers. Swim the shoulder blades together. Bring the legs together, the knees, and lift. Shalabhasana. Breathe. Lower it down and relax. Cross the right ankle over the left, a little Samalana. Interlace the weird way in your hand and squeeze the inner thighs. You don't have to squeeze the glutes. Lengthen the back. Lift the chest. Smile about it. And lower down. One more time to strengthen. Left ankle over right. Cross. And then interlace the fingers. This is optional. You can reach the arms and rise. Lower it down. Release. Let it go. Curl the toes, hands under the shoulders, hips up high. Tiger dog. Lift the right leg up, bend the right knee, step it forward, step the left foot forward. Bring one of your yoga blocks to the upper inner thighs and squeeze it. And sit back in chair. Fingertips together. Weight toward the heels. Toes do not need to grip here. Heads of the arms come back. Take a little pulse. Take a little pulse. Low back drawn in. We're not here. We're here. Lifted, grounded, powerful legs. I'm feeling this a lot in my glutes, hamstrings. Booty goes back. Stand tall. Hands to heart to feel that power and alignment. And breathe. Arms down. And again, rising up. Fingertips together. So we really turn on the chest muscles here. Press that 5 to 10 pounds of pressure into each other. Draw the low back in. And dance about it. Little squats. So everything is empowered. The joints are at home. And we're turning on that heat. Breathe. Rise up. And hands to heart. And release. Now you can continue with the block or bring the feet together. Big toe mounds together, heels slightly apart. Hips go back, thigh bones back into those hip sockets. Again, it's not here. This is a habit of ours. We're going to draw the hips back. Fingertips together. Turn on the chest, open the heart, hands to Anjali or prayer. Inhale and exhale. Sit a little deeper. Twist. Breathe it out. Inhale, center. Oh, yeah. And right to the second side. Twist left. Back to center. Twist right. Oh, yeah, we're doing this. And back to center. One more time. Twist left. Come back to center. I'm ready. Forward fold. Separate the feet hip width. Inhale. Halfway lift the spine. And exhale. Forward fold. Step it back into plank. Hold your plank. Navel to the spine. Lower the hips just a little bit more, but go further forward onto the toes and come onto the fingertips. Go further than you'd like to be. That's where the power is. Press into the floor. Open your heart. Heads of the arms home. Right hand to the heart. Right hand down. Left hand to the heart. Left hand down. Right hand heart. Right hand down. Remember, these are tiger claws, really active to the heart, active to the earth. Right hand down. Left hand down. Stay here. Right foot opens, left foot opens, right foot in, left foot in. Keep reaching the heart forward as you step through this. You can also choose your option to not. You can also bring your knees down as you step. Breathe. Breathe. Working the core, that fire. One more here. Bring the knees down. And let's take puppy pose, all of us, stretching the triceps. Arms in front, lift to the fingertips. Stretch the heart open. And pause, breathe. Feel all that good purification coming out through breath, through skin. It's awesome. Vital for all of the systems in the body to function well. You gotta sweat every day. And we'll take it all the way up. The legs come around, and we come to our back. Lower it down, and release. Make sure your pelvis is in neutral here. Include To know that, you can think of a pelvic clock drawn right on the pelvis, and if you were tilting the pelvis toward noon, right, you would rock your pelvis toward the belly button into 6. That would be your pubic bone. That's 2 arched in my back. So I want to come right to the middle of the clock, between the 12 and 6. Same with 3 and 9. If we were leaning from one hip to another, you could feel that you were out of the center of that clock. So use that as a reference just to know where you are in neutral. And sometimes we're slightly in and out of neutral here, but this is always a good reference of where we're sitting, how we're sitting in a chair, how we're standing, waiting. We're always shifting from side to side. So this is important to take a look at. And release. Okay, draw the navel to the spine. Take those deep breaths. I'm going to take one of my yoga blocks. Now they're way over here. And I'm going to place it back between the inner thighs. Okay. And then take the hands behind the head, not to pull on the neck, but just to lift the head up and support it. Chin, there's a space between the chin and the chest. I have an avocado here between the chin and the chest. Bend your knees. Knees stay over the hips. Squeeze that block. Inner thighs working. Eyes or drishti is on the belly. Toe taps down. And then lift up. Toe tap slowly down. And we lift up. Toe taps down. I'm squeezing that block. I'm trembling. Nice control. Lower down. Tap it up. Stay with the knees bent version or extend the legs. Lower down. I'm not going all the way down to the ground. That might lift my mid back up a little too high, and I want to keep the support to the spine. You can rest your head on your other block if the neck stance ever becomes too much. Maybe you don't want the block. Maybe you just come down all together. Right? So again, modify. Nice, slow control. And go to the point of control for you where you're lowering your legs. If it's in any way you're feeling that too much in the low back, you've just lowered down a little too much. Come back up. Pause, lift, woo. Bend the knees, feet down. Lower it all down. Relax. Move your block. Legs come back up to the sky. Hands behind the head, lift up. Exhale. Lower the right leg down to that point of control. Twist tie the legs. We've got adductor squeezing, twist tying the legs here. Right arm to the outer left thigh. And we reach on a diagonal as we pulse this out through breath. Keep going. If this leg formation is too much, go back to the modification here. Knees over the hips. And if this is too much, you bring the feet down all together. This is still a lot of work. I'm showing the modification with the feet down. Breathe. Make noise through the breath. You're really working that inner fire. You're stoking the fire here. We're feeling our side waist muscles at work. Bring your right hand back. Come back through neutral legs. Lift. And lower it all down. We do have a second side to that one. So fun. And bring the legs back up. Inhale and exhale. Lift your head and shoulders. Left leg down to point of control. Listen to your low back. Twist tie the legs. Left arm to the outer right thigh. And we'll pulse away. You can lower the legs down for more resistance as well. Make sure you're breathing. Try to smile. Showing modification. Keep going. Sometimes you just need a modification instead of stopping altogether. Breathe. Breathe. I'm feeling it. And we'll come back to center. Lift, inhale, and lower it all down. And release. Right thigh crosses over left thigh, like our Garuda legs here. Right arm to the left arm on top of right. Letter X in the upper arms. We bend the elbows and take prayer hands. Inhale, exhale, elbows to knees. Inhale, opens just slightly. Exhale, elbows to knees. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, stay up. Micro pulse. Little pulses. That's it. Make sure you're breathing. And pause. Feel that fire. And bring it all down. We have another side to this one. So unravel, unwind, shake it out. And we'll go to second side. Left thigh crosses over right. Left arm to the right. Right arm on top of left. Bend the elbows. And again, prayer hands here. Inhale. Use those inner thighs. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, open. Exhale, elbows toward knees. They don't have to touch. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, open. Exhale, stay. Let's micro pulse it out. We're getting a nice stretch through those rhomboids between the shoulder blades and the back. Keep going, couple more. Pause. Bring it all down. And unwind. Reach it all out. I want you to stretch the arms and legs in opposition. This is the best part. And you can really feel that vitality that you just created, all that strength in the core, and now we lengthen through the spine. Wrap the right fingers around the left wrist and walk your hands and feet over to the right corners of your mat. So you, from a bird, look like a banana. You could cross the ankle here, stretch through that left side body, all that beautiful lateral stretching, all that breathing space we feel in this stretch. Enjoy. Bring it on back to neutral, walk it over. Left fingers wrap around the right wrist, walk over to the left corners of your mat and cross the ankle. And again, lateral stretch through the right side body. Breathe into all that good space. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Enjoy. Come on back to center. All right, I'm going to bring the knees to the chest, roll up, find your ring, or again, you can squeeze a block between the inner thighs or something else that you might have around. Bend your knees, place your ring between or block between your inner thighs, and squeeze the knees back to neutral. This means the knees and the hips are aligned. Check your feet. The toes like to sneak out in that external rotation habit of ours, so keep them neutral and walk the feet back enough where you feel the four corners of your feet. Bend your elbows, press the upper arms into the floor, squeeze again at the knees so the inner thighs are active. The glutes don't have to be. Lift the pelvis bridge and pulse. If you're squeezing a block, little pulse like you're trying to really indent the inner thighs into that block. So that much power through the inner thighs. That's what we're strengthening here. Lift the hips a little bit higher. We feel the back strengthening here in our back bend once again. Heart is open, heads of the arms drop back. There's a space between the chin and the chest that we created earlier with that avocado. Same thing here. Tone the neck in length by pressing the back of the head into the floor. So find that breathing space, but lengthen the back of the neck as you pulse. Things are heating up here. And again, it's not all glutes, which typically happens in our bridge pose. Lift the hips a little higher, keep pulsing. The pulse of life. Navel draws into spine the whole time to support the spine as we breathe big. We breathe deep. Pause the pulse, lift the hips, and lower the hips down. Release the tension in the ring. We're going to go again. And re-squeeze your block or your ring. Press down through the feet, lift up. This time we're going to pulse the pelvis, the hips up and down. So we find that little lift and lower to the pelvis while, again, active through the adductors. We don't need our toes to grip at all. We find the four corners of our feet grounding us into the earth as we lift and lower. That's it. Lift up, lower it down, and release. Nice job. We're going to roll to our side so we can roll our way up. And we're going to use the back of our mat as a line to set up some of our leg exercises with the ring. Top hip stacks over the bottom hip. You're going to take this ring and your feet to the diagonal of your mat. So the legs are out in front of you. This is the way we know how to cheat here, is that our top hip starts to drop back. So watch the alignment of the top hip over the bottom hip. I'm on my forearm here and I'm pressing, lifting the chest. Same buoyancy as we had in the beginning. The feet are flexed, the bottom foot holding that ring down and upright. And the top leg comes into the top of the ring, and we're going to pulse, feeling this in the outer thigh and inner thigh. The upper body stays really still and grounded. And I like to imagine I have my cup of tea on my shoulder. I'm not spilling anything here. Navel to spine. So we've just come from all of that good stability in our core work. We're using it here for stabilization. Unlocked in our knees. Little micro pulses in the ring. Woo! Turning it on. This is really great for the health of our hips. And then pause that pulse. We're keeping the top leg in the ring as we point and flex the foot and circle with extension. So I want you to imagine there's a big pad of paper. You're drawing with the toes circles onto that paper, but it's just out of reach. You really have to extend the leg here. I'm not touching the ring. So try to keep the leg from touching the interior of the ring, so you're really precise in the circling of this hip. And the other way. Go for the extension on this one. Top hip is over the bottom hip. Woo! Leg on fire. Oh yeah. That's it. Little circles. Okay, and we're taking that top leg outside the ring. This is some internal and external rotation for our top hip. The heel touches in front of the ring, in the front. I internally rotate as I circle the ring. Toe touches behind. This is internal rotation. Heel in front, this is external rotation. So I'm exaggerating that as I go front to back. Heel and toe. Heel. And you can circle over a yoga block. Heel, toe. Heel and toe. Heel, toe, heel, toe. One more. Heel and toe. Take your ring or yoga block. Simply move the legs to the other side. Find the back of your mat as a line. Set up the legs, the feet in the ring at the diagonal, right? So we have more stability. And watch the top hip. I'm on my forearm. I'm not collapsed here in the chest or the shoulder. I'm lifted, pressing in. And the top leg lifts. Flex the feet. Unlock those knees and have fun. We pulse. Pulse, pulse, pulse. And I'm really feeling the power in both the inner and outer thighs. We have a lot of external, as I mentioned, rotation in our hips from life. We stand in lines this way. Hopefully soon we'll be standing in line somewhere outside our house. But when you're waiting in line, that's when our habits and patterns really emerge. So check that out. How are the feet? Can we stand in neutral a little bit more often? Let's go ahead and take those hip circles, pointing and flexing the foot. This is with extension. I'm not touching the ring. So those moments, even in the shower, when we can really take a little quick scan and inventory of what our habits are in the body, over time that's really cumulative, and it can cause a lot of weakness or problems for our back and our hips. So to strengthen these inner outer thigh muscles equally. Our outer thighs tend to be overdeveloped. So a lot of the inner thigh work really supports that balance. And circle the other way. Sometimes it's nice to have reasons why we do these things. The mind's like, why am I doing this? These look easy, they're not easy. Congratulations for getting this far. They will get stronger with time. I wouldn't say easy, but stronger. You'll feel more empowered with time. Okay, a couple more here. And then release the leg outside the ring, heel in front, external rotation, top hip. Heel or toes behind, internal rotation, top hip. So exaggerate that. Heel, toe, 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 and so forth. Let's do this a few more times. Couple more. And last one here. And you did it. A little bit of leg series there. There's more. We can do that later. Let's come onto our backs and stretch that out. Roll all the way back down. We'll take the left ankle over the right thigh. Make a letter or a number 4. Yeah, 4 is not a letter. I always do that. Flex that left foot. Take the heel of the left hand and gently place it in the hip crease, left hip crease. Gently stretch, press the leg away. Close the eyes. Shoulders drop back into the earth. Creating some space in the hip crease and the flexors here in the stretch as you ground back to earth. Let it sink. Go ahead and cross the left thigh right over the right thigh, like we did earlier for our Garuda legs, and just hug this in. Give yourself a hug. Feeling this beautiful outer seam stretch all the way into the glute tissue. Circle the ankles. We want those ankle joints really mobile. A lot of fluidity, a lot of mobility with our strength today. We've also lengthened all our muscles. So not only did we contract for the strength and vitality of the muscle, but we lengthen them and stretch. All that good breathing space, breathe here into the rib tissues, the back of the heart space that we connected with, and here. Release the top leg, nice scissor stretch here. As you maybe lift the head, keep both knees soft, stretching through the back of the leg. Remember the knee bent really protects any hamstrings from tearing. Ground the left thigh bone down into the hip socket. This will lengthen the low back. This relationship of grounding our left thigh bone down lengthens the low back. And head down. Bend the knee, hug it in. And left foot down. Right ankle over left thigh. And number 4, right palm of the right hand into the right hip crease. Flex the right foot, protect your knee. And press this right leg away so you feel that spaciousness in the right hip here. Any of you are avid runners, you're feeling the stretch through your IT band tissue. This is a good stretch for you. And then cross again the right thigh over the left thigh, right over it, and hug it in. Circle through the ankles, both directions, lubricate those joints. Again, dropping shoulders back, heart wide open. We've been willing the whole time in our heart. Take that right leg up, left leg long, maybe lifting the head or staying down and finding the back of the leg stretch with a soft knee to protect the hamstrings. Ground the right thigh down, ground the right thigh down. See if you can feel the length of the back of the body. We strengthen the entire posterior chain. All those muscles lengthen. We stretch through the back body. Hug the right knee in and release. You can come to your Shavasana to enjoy the freedom of having to do nothing else today in your practice. This is the most important feeling, just to feel free, to let go of the need to do anything or to be anything to anyone. Enjoy that continual grounding into the earth, so much grounding that it eventually feels like floating. Feel free to stay in your Shavasana and this feeling of liberation, of peace, of remembered calm, the access to this place that you can come to anytime, that you can remember anytime, your true nature. Movement back into the fingers, into the toes. Stretch the arms, lengthen, feel all that length through the spine we've created, all the support. We'll be using that support as we roll to the side. And thank the earth. On your way over, always connect to her in gratitude, deep gratitude for the support we receive. Staying connected and grounded as we rise to our seat once again, our place that we feel rooted, balanced. Find your sitting bones from side to side, front to back. And where we started, draw the low back in. And feel how much support you've created for yourself in your own body today. The spine for this posture of sitting. Bring your hands back to the heart center. Remember your personal intention that comes with you, just like these deep breaths. Just like this strength, this vitality, this remembrance of peace and freedom. Thank you so much for joining me today. And may this practice support you, support each other, and support this planet for the benefit of all beings. Namaste.